My name is Bruce Pussell. The title of the work is Lake Mac Abstract. The work is made up of 15 centimetre squares of glass that have been created in a geometric fashion and then fused in the kiln, and it consists of approximately 60 by 60 centimetres. So there are 4 squares of glass horizontally and vertically which make up the image. It's made of glass, and it's kiln form glass. What I've done with each of these squares is to create a pattern, a geometrical pattern, using plain glass, using coloured glass, using stringers which are fine, thin ribbons of glass, and using forms of glass that go well together in creating the pattern. So the pattern was created firstly in the computer and then transcribed to each individual square before firing in the kiln. In firing in the kiln, it fuses the pieces together so that they become flat and unite. So you can use different colours in creating the piece. And what I've tried to do is to create an abstract representation of this area, which has water, mountains, cities, buildings, fields, all in abstract pattern, all put together to create this image. So it's a kiln form glass piece, fired in the kiln to fuse and then put together with a plain glass background and then framed for hanging. Well, it represents this area in an abstract form. It represents a way out of the darkness because of the very bright colours. Bright colours always give you hope. They make you feel good. This is what I was trying to achieve with this in bringing us out of the darkness of the last 4 months that we've been suffering through. The colours are designed to complement each other, not to antagonise each other, so that I've tried to use colours that are compatible but still produce the colourful image. I share my studio with my wife, Sally Robinson. We have a dirty space where I have a kiln, and I've got a glass cutting bench and a storage bench for the glass. I put it together on that bench after cutting glass. I have this knack for cutting glass. I don't know where it came from, but I can run a cut, a metre long, which is not even straight in a glass cutting system. It's just sort of, it's a technique that I have, but I don't know. I never learnt it. It came to me the first time I cut a piece of glass. So it was very unusual. The studio space, we have an office, storage, kitchen, toilet, and a gallery. And it's from the gallery where we sell most of our works. I've done a few courses in my time, the stained glass course many, many years ago, and then in preparation for retirement, I did a course at the Sydney College of the Arts in their glass department at Callan Park. That was a 2-week workshop where I learned some techniques about heating and firing glass. And then again in preparation for a retirement from my substantive position, I went off to New York and did a course at the Bullseye Glass Factory. And again at the Bullseye Glass Factory in Portland, Oregon. So I've learnt a lot of techniques that way and then developed some of my own techniques. The main technique I'm using at the moment is a technique where I use very, very finely ground powdered glass, mix it with a glue, and I paint that onto a clear glass surface and then fire that in the kiln. And as it fires in the kiln, the glue burns off and the powdered glass fuses to the glass underneath so that you can get a painterly image through that technique. That's the one I really love doing at the moment. And I developed that myself following one of those courses in the United States where we were using printing type things on glass, using 500 pound glass through a sieve to filter it on. Then I retired about 2.5 years ago now and have been working in the studio on these projects full time, virtually, or usually 3 or 4 days a week anyway, when we're not up here at Lake Macquarie. It's the joy of seeing an idea put into reality. Firstly, producing the work and seeing it through to its finished product. And secondly, to see somebody appreciate it by buying it. Whenever that happens, that gives me a real ego boost. It's a representation of civilization and how civilized the people we are. I think that all forms of art, both visual and other forms, enhance our lives. I think it produces an endorphin kick. It makes us feel really good. So I think it's a very essential part of human existence, and it has been for many, many thousands of years, and it continues to be. So what's happened in the last 3 or 4 months has been a terrible blow. We've not been able to go to the theatre, we've not been able to go to a concert. All of those things have been left behind. And I think that's a big tragedy for us as a society and for our civilization as a people.